Get ourselves lined up here. Don't want to hurt ourselves. We got a nice height here. We're going to start at 0 speed. Crank it up. Should be able to turn at 1,000 RPM with a spindle. It's good. No vibration at all on the lathe. So we're at 1,200 RPM. Just nice and tight on the tailstock. Okay, face shield on, and let's get to roughing. Keep stopping and moving our tool rest in. We're getting good cuts though. English walnut always does well. I'm sorry, Will, that I'm using English walnut. I didn't have any Irish woods. They're a little cracked there. So be careful. Like normal, I'm going to stop quite often just so you can see the progress and I can make sure that my tool rest is in an optimum spot here. I did hear a crack. There's a crack here. And I don't think it's too deep. I can hear a little hollowness there, so I got to keep an eye on that. We don't want that flying off, but we have our face shield on, so we're good there. All right. Anchor. Oop. Make sure your tool rest is locked. So it's anchor, get the bevel, lift the handle, and cut. Now I'm going to switch over to my other gouge just because it's also sharp, and that way I can get keep going and I have to stop to sharpen, trying to keep the speed up. So that knot, you hear that coming, clicking, we're getting through this crack over here. I think we're still good. One extra crank on the tailstock, keep sure we're nice and safe. Anchor, on the bevel, down. Still some wobble there. Okay, if you guys can hear it in the camera, I don't know if the sound canceling, we're nice and round now, but I can still hear that when we come by that crack, which is right here. So that is a fairly dangerous thing to be turning with a piece of wood like this. You don't want that to come off and split. So what we can do is we can try to stabilize that with a little CA, and I think that'll probably be fine for our project. We only need about this much of the wood. I was going to go for a little longer box to see if I could get a full spiral into it. So I'm going to go ahead and fill the crack here. We're going to part it off a little bit shorter than original planned. I think up here this is just a little too fragile. So let's grab some CA. I'm going to do this in 2 stages. And again, this is doing what I always do. I use Starbond thin first, then Starbond medium, and some accelerator. And the reason for the thin on this wood is it'll soak all the way into the crack a little further down. And I can just kind of watch how the wood drinks that up. And that crack was quite a bit deeper than I expected. I did see it when I pulled the blank, and I could hear it. You could obviously hear it while you're turning, right? You hear the click, 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 and that's an indication that you have a potential problem coming your way. So now I'm going to crank it back so I can see into the crack, and let this medium kind of go down and fill it. I don't think we're going to actually need to fill this crack. I don't think it goes that deep once we get down to the multi-axis portion, but we still want as secure a blank as we can get. Let's go ahead and smooth that back off. Let me go this direction first. And come back now the other way. Pressure is down on the tool rest. Tool is anchored to my hip, and I'm shifting my body weight. nice and smooth. That should be a pretty nice cut. Obviously not a finished cut, but we still have a little glue popping out of our crack. The crack is almost all the way filled. I'm going to give that one more little pass here, guys, just so we know that it's all the way filled. And then I'll run another smoothing cut over the top. Down here, I shouldn't have to worry about, but I still am going to make sure we go all the way across. Just don't want anything wacky to happen, because we will be putting this one under some stress when you do the multi-axis. So let's let that dry up. Again, just one nice smooth pass. Anchor. Get our cut going. Just slide skin down the surface here. I lost it. Now you could also do this with a skew. And I might go ahead and get my skew out for one pass just so we have a super clean surface. I seem personally to be able to take a much gentler pass with a skew than I can with a gouge. So we're just going to anchor it, find our bevel. Same spot where the knot was, it wants to skip. Okay, now we should have a nice smooth surface to start our project.